All right, all right, all right.
So today we're tearing down the S54 that's going to go into Miley. Already off to a bad start. The oil pan bolt is stripped. When we get the pan and everything off, it's just another thing to do. But we're going to go ahead and tear this down so I can get the head off to the machine shop. Let's do it! Alright, so we're about halfway done. Valve cover's off. Oil filter housing is off. Water pump's off. ITBs are off. All the coolant's drained out. Oil's still draining. We'll let that drain for a while. Chad's removing the Vanos. So once we get this off, what's next? Cams. Okay, cams. Then we gotta do the valves, and cylinder head. All right, we'll keep going. The timing chain guide is broken. However, this wasn't causing an issue. Luckily, it doesn't look like it skipped timing or anything like that. Anyways, that's what we're finding here. We were expecting something like that because we found these chunks on this piece. And chunks of the guide. So we're gonna keep digging and go from there. All right, got the guide out. As you can see, piece is missing off the bottom of it, and there's a huge chunk about that big missing right there. Crazy, but luckily it didn't skip timing or anything like that, so hopefully we're still good to go. Alright, it's the next day. I paused last night after I pulled the shims out on top of every valve spring. I laid them out accordingly so everything stays where it's supposed to be. That way I have a good starting point for when I do a valve adjustment later on. Everybody talks about these motors being very complicated. I don't think it's too bad. It's a little more complicated than the M52. The M52 uses a lifter. This uses a shim and like a little rocker arm. I think it's considered a follower. Go ahead and correct me on that. It's still just a motor. I mean, there's nothing in here that's happening that's taking crazy special tools or anything like that. I've obviously got the timing tools to settle this up. So far, so good. I'm actually pretty happy. I feel like this is a really good candidate for our cars. I'm always looking at how easy repairs are going to be and how taking stuff apart maybe at the track and things like that go. But I'm gonna go ahead and take this piece off here. That way I could get to the two lower head bolts, and I'm gonna bring it over to the machine shop, get it skimmed, and then we'll be tossing this motor back together before we know it. Cylinder head, timing cover are off. All I got to do now is pull the pan off, fix the drain plug, clean the chunks of timing chain guide out. I don't see any signs of timing being skipped or anything like that. There's carbon buildup on the top of the pistons, which is expected from a motor with over 100,000 miles, but there is no contact or valve and piston contact or anything like that. So we look great there. This is exactly what I wanted to see, aside from the drain plug. We'll walk over here, go to the cylinder head. Everything looks great. There's actually not a lot of buildup on this. Maybe someone's done a gasket before, or maybe injection cleaner, or a handful of things, but it looks pretty good. So this is going to be dropped off at the machine shop. When I pick it up, we will film putting this motor back together. So I'll see you then, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Work hard. Drift harder.